The Bright Path Amid Countless Flowery Words by Thích Bảo Thành. Someone once asked me, "Master, why is it that the more I practice, the more lost I feel? I hear so many sweet words, so many beautifully crafted Dharma talks. Yet my heart is still empty, my mind still restless, and my afflictions still rise like waves in the wind. Where have I gone wrong?" I looked at my disciple with gentle eyes, because this question appears in every generation. Decades of teaching have shown me countless people who come and go. Those who open, then close again. Those who aspire, then lose heart. And all stumble over the same trap, being intoxicated by flowery language and forgetting the light of wisdom. Beautiful words are only moonlight, not the moon. Without wisdom, even the sweetest Dharma is like a thin layer of honey on the tongue, pleasant, but unable to nourish the foundation of the mind. There are teachers who speak beautifully, teach with perfect metaphors, move hearts with elegant stories. We listen and feel stirred, uplifted, convinced we've touched awakening, but emotional stirring is still only emotion. A breeze passing through a window, not the light that dispels darkness. Wisdom does not arise from emotion, but from deep seeing. Emotion detains us. Wisdom liberates us. No matter how refined the teachings, if we do not practice and look deeply into body, feelings, mind, phenomena, we are merely standing outside the house admiring its beauty, never entering the doorway. People today often love the lotus blossom, but refuse to step into the mud to understand why the lotus blooms there. Impermanence, the most honest mirror. Students ask, "Master, why is my mind still unsettled? Why does suffering keep returning? Why can't I hold on to the good that I once had?" I simply smile gently, because you forgot impermanence. Nothing stays for even a single moment. If even the breath changes, how can the human heart remain still? We suffer because we cling to what never belonged to us, or try to push away what life sends to help us grow. Impermanence is not meant to frighten us, but to awaken us. Knowing the mist will fade, we do not hold it. Knowing the flower will fall, we cherish it. Knowing life will change, we neither cling nor complain. Seeing impermanence clearly loosens the knots of the heart.
Non-self, the river that never holds itself. Some fear the teaching of non-self. If there is no me, then who am I? What is the purpose of living? But non-self is not nihilism. It is the truth that we have no fixed essence. We are like a river, changing every moment, never the same twice. The river does not cling to a single drop, yet it still flows beautifully. We do not need to cling to myself, my pride, my story. We still live, love, work, only lighter. Seeing non-self, we understand. The one who hurt us is but a momentary formation. Anger is only a passing cloud, joy is only a ray of sunlight, and our true nature is originally clear. Only dust has settled for a while. Then nothing is left to cling to, only more reasons to love.
Suffering is a teacher, not an enemy.
People fear suffering. Young practitioners fear it even more. A small pain, they run. A small sadness, they cover it. A small wound, they hide it. But without suffering, no one looks inward. Without afflictions, no one enters the path. Without nights of turmoil, no one sees how fragile, how greedy, angry, and confused they truly are. Suffering is the bell of awakening. It shakes the leaves of the mind, so we notice we have been asleep. It does not come to destroy us. It comes to deepen us. As steel is strengthened by fire, so the practitioner is brightened by hardship, insight. The door back to the true mind. We like beautiful teachings, statues, incense, and chanting. But those are all external. Liberation is internal. Insight means returning to observe clearly. Your own breath, your own feelings, your racing thoughts, your habits that bind you day after day. When you see deeply enough, wisdom opens on its own. No need for mystical teachings. A single minute of true looking is worth more than 100 polished lectures.
The bright path is right under your feet. Wisdom isn't something to search for elsewhere. It is already present in a gentle step, a calm breath, a quiet emotion, a released thought. Right understanding is not learning more. It is seeing rightly. Seeing rightly and living rightly, mind brightens and afflictions fall. No need for ornate speech. The path needs only the light of wisdom, shining into each moment. And that light, no one can give you but yourself. The flower of awakening blooms in everyday life. When you stop chasing sweet words and begin living with authentic awareness, every situation becomes a Dharma door. A harsh remark, impermanence. A wrong action, non-self. A painful moment, suffering as teacher. An unwholesome thought, insight. A joy, appreciation without clinging. Then awakening flowers right in the heart. No need for decoration. No need for incense. No need for a meditation hall. A pure mind turns the world into a pure land. A bright mind turns every path into a homecoming. The way is never far. It only waits for your sincerity. Your capacity to listen inwardly, and your courage to look deeply. Then wisdom will bloom, and awakening will come. Like the slow, steady sunrise. Quiet, yet radiant.
Without the light of wisdom, sweet words fade into empty air. Impermanence holds the truest mirror. See rise, see fall, and cling no more. Non-self like a moving stream, anger, love, grasping, release, constantly changing. Suffering is not an enemy, but a teacher leading inward. contemplate to the very source. See things as they